Hey guys, Ricky. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. So, Gunther and Damian Priest opened up Raw, which I was prepared for one of the famous Gunther promos. But Damian Priest came out and he was basically like, if you're going to say something, say it to my face. Which, the response Gunther had me shook. Gunther basically said nothing. He said nothing. And Ludwig Kaiser came out in defense of Gunther, yet Gunther shut Ludwig down. It almost gave a little bit of Roman in his Tribal Chief era, you know, not letting Ludwig talk, but also kind of having that dominance over him. And in the midst of it, Damian Priest hit Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther did nothing. Gunther got punked. Which, that right there was very shocking to me. And it seems as though the loss to Cody Rhodes has done more damage to Gunther than we thought. We thought he was just playing the role of being a respectful competitor as for his love for the sport and such. But that wasn't the case. He's scared. Gunther is scared. And that Gunther, it's a different type of character. But I also think it is going to kind of elevate his character a lot because we see a different side of him, and it's almost to the point where if this was like a heel going against Gunther, it would be like his redemption in a way. Like, it's kind of framed in a way you see more of the human side of Gunther and you almost feel bad for him, because I was feeling bad for him. I felt bad for him. Now, Dakota Kai has returned and she wasted no time. Decided to go have a match against PFC, Damage Control versus PFC, which they the ones who got her out, so it was only right. Now, in the match, I saw that Dakota was ready to go. I feel as though she's been waiting and ready for this, and it was kind of a fresh sight to see her. I will say, it's kind of like, dang, she couldn't get the pin, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. A win is a win. You know what I'm saying? You can't be... I ain't picky at all. PFC need to get their butt beat because I'm tired of seeing them. You know, they need to add something, do something, because I ain't feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. Now, we had a Judgment Day little segment, which the cracks are growing wider. Finn is over here kind of, you know, throwing shade. Like, Damian Priest is closer to the heavyweight championship. And I don't like that. Kind of throwing, he threw shots at Dom, which to me, I feel as though he's been waiting to vocalize his feelings because he's just upset that it's not him, which Dom vocalized, and that was crazy. So a split is happening. The question is, how is a split going to occur? Because I noticed in that segment, Liv did not have Dom's back. All she did was say, we're family, da-da-da. She didn't really have his back, as in Dom is trying his best or Dom is right. No. I feel as though he might get betrayed. Not betrayed. He might be the one getting kicked out of the Judgment Day. Him and Carlito might be the one. I don't know. Carlito, I'm still on the fence about him, but he might be getting kicked out of the Judgment Day. By Finn's orders, because Finn said there's no leaders, but it's obvious that he is the leader. It's very obvious, very clear to anybody with eyes that he is the leader of the Judgment Day. Him and Liv are kind of spearheading this whole thing. So, I'm interested. I want to see how it's going to go, because it just leads to Dom's growth, and he'll finally be on his own, which he hasn't done. He hasn't been alone since he started his run. First, he started with his daddy, then with the Judgment Day. And Dom is a very talented individual. Like, he's pretty good at this stuff. So I'm excited to see how that's going to be. Even though I do get a kick out of kind of rooting against Dom, especially when they had the idea of him going against Gunther. I'm here for that. Like, throwing that shade because it's funny. But the next thing was Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. These men are going to keep going at it. So I honestly want their next match on Raw to be a stipulation. Like, I want it to be like three falls match. Like, that's what I want. Something like that, because the stakes ain't high enough. The stakes aren't high enough, and these are two guys that need the stakes to be high. I mean, it's just gonna be more interesting. I'm not saying it's interesting without it, but the history with the tsunamis and him kind of taking off some months off of Seth, and then Seth stomping him like crazy. As Saudi, like, they need to have something that's like definitive. And we have, I don't know if the Bloodline, this is not, y'all know I love the Bloodline, y'all know I love them, but do they share one brain cell? They act as if they share one brain cell, because how in the world, first, you got Sammy saying, I got somebody, and he goes to Seth freaking Rollins, like, bro, be so for real. That's the only reason why Roman doesn't have his belt right now, is because Roman was going after Seth Rollins. Like, why would Roman want to be in the same team as Seth Rollins? Let's put on our thinking caps here. This man is the one who kind of made Roman into the man he is. Not even kind of. He's the one who made Roman into the man he is today. As in, he's the one who made him the tyrant. He made him to the tyrant. He made him to the man that has control issues, to the point where he tests everybody, even his own family, to prove their loyalty. And he thinks that he has to manipulate them to be by his side because of Seth Rollins. But we want to add him to our War Game team. We want to add him to something that's very important, that's very special, that means a lot. And a lot is riding on this. We want to add Seth Rollins. I need Sammy to be for real. Same thing with Jay. Jay, I love Jay. At least Jay didn't pick an op per se, but they were op fishing. They was fishing for the ops. Because why did Jay go to Rey Mysterio after what Roman did to Rey Mysterio and Dominic? Honestly, I would have felt offended if I was Rey. I'd have been like, now why would I do that? Like, but then Jimmy, he's not fighting these, he's not beating these villain accusations, because he goes to Braun Breaker, the man that took the belt from Sammy and Jay. But Roman ain't got no beef with him. I think that because of how things are going, because it seems as though Jay's loyalty is more with Sammy than Jimmy, Jimmy is taking Roman's side for the first time ever. He's taking Roman's side. So I think he's finding somebody that Roman's not going to have a problem with. I think that's the only thing that's on his mind, is somebody that Roman and him doesn't have a problem. Him and Roman don't have a problem with. Because he's not thinking about anybody else but those two. I'm just saying. Now, The Miz in the Final Testament. First off, The Miz, he deserves his Grammy. Because I thought he was serious. This is why I stand this man. This is why I appreciate this man and what he does for his business. Because I really thought that the Final Testament was going to break his legs and he was going to be out for a while. I thought he was actually scared of the YS6. And they twisted it in the best way possible, to the point where everybody has to be intrigued. Everybody has to be intrigued in what the Final Testament is doing. Because they kind of put down the Wyatts. They basically did. In a certain sense, they kind of put them down, and we haven't seen that. They have not been falling like they were in the ring. So I'm intrigued. And I've seen the Karrion Kross post. That right there, this is perfect for him. This is perfect for him. And I hope this is what kind of makes everybody pay more attention to what he is doing, how his character work is. And truth be told, I kind of want him to separate from AOP. I do. I do. I'm sorry. I do. And the only thing that got me is Uncle Hattie was laughing. And Karen kind of looks a little scared. But we'll see what happens next week. But I know that we're in for a treat when it comes to that. I'm seated. Now, Kofi and Xavier Woods. First off, Kofi is over here trying to apologize to Truth, which Truth is somebody that they've known for a while. So it would have only made sense for him to kind of be on Truth's side when he was getting beat up. So Kofi apologized. But Xavier heard him and was like, bro, what are you talking about? But then Pete Dunne comes and starts something with Truth, but then then Kofi comes in. And that leads to a match with Kofi and Pete Dunne, which that was a great match. And I would say the matches was pretty solid. The match was pretty solid. I will say that I want Kofi to win a singles match. And I understand the fact that Kofi didn't want to take a dirty win because that's not how they've been doing. And they didn't talk about that. So Xavier should have saw the point where Kofi had. And I don't think, in this instance, I don't think either of them was wrong. I just think they need to actually talk out what their problems are instead of letting things grow and fester. It's been annoying. And they need to get to their 10-year celebration because I want to see it. I want to see E because they have to bring it. E has to come back. He has to come back for that celebration. And I don't need to see them broken up. Okay, I just don't. I don't. It's not going to be good for my mental health. You know what I'm saying? I need the power of positivity, okay? Especially now. But the main event, which I seen a little people kind of hating that this was the main event. But I was very, very, very glad it was. Because these women know how to put on a show. Okay, we had the tag team match, which I'm glad Jade and Bianca retained. Because Liv, she don't need to be double champion. I'm sorry to all those Liv fans. I'm sorry. This is not no shade. But Liv, I don't think I won't say she's not interesting enough, but she would not be able to carry two of the divisions at once. She just wouldn't be able to do that. Especially when it comes to Raquel being the terrible bodyguard that she is. That whole match was a pretty good match. And I will say there was a moment where they've been teasing this Bianca and Jade thing. Because they had a little bit of miscommunication during the match. But they're not going to pull the trigger. They're not going to pull the trigger. They're not going to pull the trigger. They're going to keep on being the tag team champs. But Bianca, she can live cleanly. And that brings me to the question of, is anybody going to bring that up? Is anybody going to bring that up? I want to see that. I need to see if anybody's going to bring that up next week. Okay, because if anybody can do it, it's going to be Bianca. I'm just saying. But there was a moment that Tiffany and Nia came out to try to win, to try to mess up what Jade and Bianca had going on, which kind of calls back to their match on Friday. But Naomi said, no, none of that. And the big three had their moment. And I loved it. Naomi's gear was on fire. She put down both Tiffany and Nia. But then Liv behind had to go put my girl down. But Io came out, and I think this is going to be our War Games theme. The fifth member is pretty obvious, but I think it'll be pretty obvious, the fifth member, but I'm not going to say anything. But I think our War Games team is going to be Jade, Bianca, Naomi, Io. And the other side is going to be Liv, Raquel, Nia, and Tiffany, and probably Candice LeRae, just because Nia and Tiffany kind of have a thing with them, and Candice also has a problem with Naomi. So I feel as though that's probably gonna be the War Games team. And honestly, I'm so happy for Naomi because she been wanting to have a dirty match like this, like street type of fight match, and it's Team Naomi every day. Okay, I want Naomi to beat Nia bad on Friday, but I have a feeling that Naomi is not there. The match is going to end in disqualification because of the events of Monday. And that's my hopes, because I want Naomi to get a rematch. She get a rematch. No, I don't need to have. She doesn't need to get into the ring with Nia while Tiffany has that briefcase. Tiffany needs to let go of that briefcase. Okay. Then Naomi can have her chance. But also, it gives her, if she's able to be in the running for the U.S. Championship without losing stocks, basically, because it kind of would look trash if it's like, oh, you couldn't get that belt, so you're going to go with this belt. But as long as she's an inaugural U.S. champion, I don't really care. But Monday was pretty good. I'm excited to see Friday because I know Roman's going to be upset. And then the Thug Line tried to get Seth, which I don't know why they tried to do that when Seth don't like Solo. I mean, and I think Seth has enough respect for Roman not to go on Solo's side either, because Solo is more of the greater evil. But I'm excited to see how Roman's gonna react, because I think in this very moment that would be a justified crash out for Roman. Like, you try to get my op. It's insane. Like, Sammy, whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please turn on your post notifications. I'll see you guys Thursday. Bye!